What is up, guys? I'm going to talk to you about the top 5 flaws of the Lexus IS250 that you should be aware of. So you guys may love your wife, but maybe you've sat down with her and had a conversation about the things that annoy you. You guys know on this channel, I love my Lexus IS250. 370,000 plus kilometers. It's been awesome. 2009. It looks beautiful inside and out. Super reliable. We love it. But I do want to share with you the top 5 things that are flawed with this vehicle and just be straight out about it, because look, all the positives completely outweigh the negatives, but I have to be real with you. These negatives have annoyed me from time to time. I'm going to share them with you. It really starts with number 1, which if they made this option available, this vehicle would be way more useful for those with a growing family. That's kind of why we had to go ahead and buy another vehicle on top of it, is the rear seats don't fold down. If they just made the rear seats fold down in this vehicle, it would just make it so much more usable for everything, right? You may be hauling stuff. I don't know what it is you're doing, but all that extra stuff, that capacity that you could get is so much better. I can't tell you the amount of times that I've gone ahead to go pick something up and it just doesn't fit in the vehicle. So many times, and you try to stick it in the back seat, it's just all a mess. If they just made fold down seats for that, this vehicle would be infinitely more useful just in your day-to-day life. But because it doesn't have that, it is one big flaw. It could have been something I could design in, but they didn't. So I have to call that out. I think it's one of the biggest flaws. The next one is going to be fuel efficiency and power. So you're not buying this car because of power. You're not buying it for necessarily fuel efficiency. What you're buying it for is reliability. Now, it doesn't have the worst power in the world, right? You're looking at about 220, 200 horsepower around there. Doesn't have the best fuel economy in the world, about 13 liters per 100 kilometers on the highway, right? So it's not really powerful. It's a V6, not so much juice, but it gets you from point A to B. And yeah, I think it is like a flaw because the engine is nothing to write home about except for the fact of its legendary reliability. So, you know, it's got good looks, it's got good style, it's peppy enough to get you from point A to B, but it kind of lacks any real bite. And then because it doesn't lack any real bite, you would expect some better fuel economy, but it doesn't have that either. So it's really, you're getting this vehicle for that engine, the fuel economy and power is just kind of lacking. Then, specific to the engine, even though I just talked about how reliable it is and great, it does have another flaw. It's another maintenance item that you always have to think about with this vehicle and making sure you're maintaining, or otherwise you may have some problems. This engine is only direct injected. So basically what that means is instead of the gasoline kind of covering the ports when it's being injected and kind of cleaning the heads and the ports, it's not doing that. And so, you know, some other vehicles maybe have port injection and direct injection. The IS350, for example, has port and direct injection, and so that cleans up the heads there. But because the IS250 doesn't, it is just direct injected. You get a bunch of gulk and carbon built up in soot all over those valves. That can cause a whole bunch of problems, but typically what you do to remedy this, make sure you run the car very hard once in a while. Make sure you do full synthetic oil changes on time, all the time. You know, people have their different oil change intervals. I'd always say follow your manufacturer's recommended guideline, but at least once a year. Once a year at minimum, depending on how many kilometers you drive every year, you should be doing a full synthetic oil change, and the filter needs to be changed every single time. Can't tell you how many times people say, Sonduren, we could just reuse the filter, right? It's only been a year. No, change both. The filter is what's capturing all the crap that's coming out of your engine and in the oil. So you want to make sure you change the filter too. Please make sure you do that, especially on this motor because it is a direct injected motor. Now, the next thing is the infotainment system. I think this is obvious, right? We're in 2023. The infotainment system on a 2009, it's actually that generation started in 2006, is old. So yes, you're gonna have to get like a media adapter. I got my Halo ring, which basically takes my MagSafe on my iPhone, puts it there on the dash, and it connects via my Bluetooth. I'll link those items in the description box down below. It augments the pain of the navigation system. It just makes for a better experience to use your entire infotainment system in the vehicle. But it is a flaw. You should be aware of that. So just a heads up. Now, love the reliability on this vehicle, but no matter how reliable the engine is, some other things are going to start falling off, and some things will maybe literally fall off, like your side moldings on your windshield, right? Or you may get some fraying on the plastics, or some people also get dash cracks that come in on the dash. This is the plastics aging, weakening, rotting over time, and this happens. It is common for the IS250. It's common for this generation IS350. It's just some common pain points, right? Now, I don't think it's a big deal, right? Like, if you have this vehicle 15 years old and the plastics are rotting, whoopity-doo. You're not stranded on the side of the road and your engine's rocking and costing you no money, right? So the important things that matter are reliable, and then the superficial kind of, yes, if it didn't break or rot out, that would be nice. Those are starting to fade away after 15 years, 20 years with a vehicle. Is that unexpected? Is that the end of the world? I don't think so. And quite honestly, if it bugs you enough, like it bugs me, you could just go and replace those parts for like 150 bucks, put them on yourself, and you're done. But that's basically it. So it's, you know, it's not the end of the world. These are like minor first world problems that you could have with an amazing, beautiful, luxury kind of sporty sedan that you can go ahead and get for like $4,000 to $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 Canadian in 2023. So you get a lot of value with this car for the money. I absolutely love it. That's why we're still keeping it. We don't want to get rid of it. It's an awesome vehicle, but these are 5 flaws that you should be aware of. I think the positives far outweigh the negatives, but let me know your thoughts in the comment box down below. Love to hear it. I'm obviously a big fan of the IS series. I think it's a great car for the price. Great styling, luxury, reliability, everything you need. I think a lot of people, when you're looking for a vehicle in that price bracket, like, what's important to you? Reliability to me is one of the most important things to me. You're getting this car to go somewhere. If you can't do that reliably, then that's a big problem to start off with. But let me know your comments in the description box down below as well. I'll link all of the kind of products I use to kind of mitigate some of these things for the IS. Give this video a like. Make sure you subscribe if you want to kind of follow the journey on the IS250, the rest of my journey with the other vehicles that we do, car video reviews, everything on this channel. So make sure you subscribe, check it out, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.